It's a very special day today as I get the pleasure of announcing a project that I've invested in. So, yes, disclaimer, I'm an investor, but it is MetaSignals. MetaSignals has actually released or is releasing today their once in a lifetime, or not once in a lifetime, but their lifetime access. It sounds like I'm doing a dating commercial or something, but their lifetime access for their product, which is essentially a data organization and categorization tool, which, yes, can essentially alert you towards higher probabilistic setups that include both, well, areas of interest in your favor, and then also areas of interest that, if met, would be indicative that your edge is not there. The probabilities are against you, and maybe you might want to consider, might want to consider not using your funds in that way. But of course, this is. And I want to be very directly clear with this, because whenever you get into these sort of like signals type things, this is not like a signal service. It's more like a call. It's more like an alerting call rather than a call to action. It's like it's saying, hey, pay attention over here if you're interested in such things, like in this pair, and well, if you're not interested, then obviously don't pay attention. So I'm going to go to the chart view over here, or not the chart view, but just the main page view, so you can get familiar with it. There will be a link to this in the description below. It's metasignals.io. They also have a Discord. They even have a free Discord, which I was, very adamant about. Again, as an investor of this company, and I want there to be absolutely no, question about that. Like full disclaimer, I'm an investor. I am biased, but at the end of the day, I thought that it was very important for that Discord to show also just free versions of these signals, of these setups, so you can be very familiar with what you're getting yourself into, what it essentially looks like, and that's available for you there to take advantage of whenever you want, so that you can decide for yourself, hey, is this a good do for me or not for me? Like, does this work within my own trading system or not? And then you can make the educated decision for yourself. Anyways. So yeah, the main thing for me is that the real value here is that it calls your attention to those high probability setups that you might have missed otherwise, because it's going to be providing setups for the top X amount of market cap coins. That's probably going to change depending upon whatever tier it is. But ultimately, it's going to be going off of many different time frames as well. So it could be, or you might imagine yourself, I could certainly imagine myself on a Saturday not looking at Matic on the 1 hour, and then I got an alert for that. Now, I personally wouldn't take action on that because I don't trade altcoins and I don't really care about that. But that means that's just not a good fit for me. Of course, it does also cover Bitcoin and the high caps as well. It's just, it's going to be spitting out a bunch of these different things. So maybe if you're more interested in those more exotic coins, let's say, could be right for you. Anyways, or maybe it's of your interest. That's probably what I should say. So I should probably explain how this project all came about, because I think it's actually rather interesting, and it probably answers a lot of questions as well. About 3 years ago, one of the guys from our community messaged me on Discord, and he said, hey, I'm working on some, I'm going to get back to you soon. And then I think it was like a year that went by or something. I don't know how long it was. It was like a long time, like around a year. He gets back to me and says, all right, I think I have something. and from there, he started to show me, these these setups and what he's been working on, and started to ask for, my own input into them. Like, what could we maybe use to, well, improve this? And so we started, I had a little bit of input in this. Most of this, or certainly the overwhelming majority of this, was his work. But what I noticed was there really was an edge there, and yeah, I could use some refining, especially in certain cases. But ultimately, I felt very comfortable with it, to be honest with you, as well. That's the whole point of having a service like this. And the sense of it is that, after going through the data, probably more data than I'm really want to admit, because your eyes start to fucking bleed after you've looked at Microsoft Excel cells for so long, or Google Sheets, whatever the fuck you're using. But it reminded me of that meme, where it's like, is the edge in the room with us right now? And at some points I thought I was going crazy, and maybe the founder did as well. But it seemed very apparent there after a while, and after a long time of looking at this, which we've been now a little bit more, I've been a little more in the weeds with it over the past year, or a little bit less than a year now. Yeah. There is, and it's looking good, or at least good enough in the way that I look at things. Again, more as an alerting tool towards people that essentially just kind of saves you time if you're, looking to trade those more exotic pairs or Bitcoin, or just, you want to save your time maybe, and, just be alerted of like, hey, now's maybe the time to pay attention. Now's something that might be relevant towards your trading interests. Anyways, as you know, signals are typically something that I would shy away from, but these guys are coming at it from a completely different angle, really. And the potential in what they are doing is simply like, it is good. It's good. And for me, like, I shouldn't ignore that. I should help things get towards, the forefront of people's visions, like if they are good. And so that's what I'm really trying to do here. So yeah. Anyways, I met the team, or the team. I met the main guys, and I believe in him. And he is very. This guy. This is like the perfect type of founder that you want to have. He's a little bit of a perfectionist with the signals itself, because like he actually didn't want to release them in their current format until like we started to really go through the data. I was like, hey, dude, look, if you had done this, if you had looked at all this for a while, this would have been very successful. And so what? Like, we can make this you can make this better, of course. You can fine tune this up, which he's very adamant about and will do over time. But as it is right now, things seem to be going well. And like I said, you can check it out in the free Discord, all of the signals and whatnot there. I believe they have a link over here on their site on the Discord feature, of course, and then they have the free trial over here, even for the product itself. So I want to once again I really want to stress that the alerts are a call to action to assess a chart, not to ape in blindly. Obviously, when you do take a trade, you might want to look for a better entry, or even adjust the stop loss. That's probably my biggest gripe with it. Biggest point of concern is that the stop losses for these things can sometimes be unreasonable. So I would say that you need to use your own discretion with this, obviously, as with anything. Now, that is certainly one of the things that I think can definitely be improved over time within this system. But for right now, I would say that that's probably the biggest drawback, at least that I see. So here's the thing. Today, the Meta Mafioso NFT drops at 1 p.m. here in Dubai. I believe that's maybe somewhere around like 4 a.m. for the Americans out there on the East Coast, or 1 a.m. for the Americans on the West Coast, I think. Is that how it works? Yeah. And hodlers receive lifetime access to the beta long alerts. Short alerts will be coming in Q1 of next year, and a long list of new services and features the moment they come online, all at no additional cost. So if you do believe in the project, and you like, the sort of ethos, what's going on right here, it's, dare I say, again, as an investor, as a highly biased investor, not the worst deal. It's not the worst deal. And you can find all of the relevant info over there at metasignals.io. The first 500 buyers will receive the Engrave Cold Wallet, which normally runs about $500 actually. And additionally, all holders can choose between either the Jewel Light indicator, or sorry, not the Jewel Light, but the real Jewel indicator, and even the TA program that I've created myself. So here's the thing. That value itself is like, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm like reading this over. I'm like, hey, what? What the fuck you offering? Oh, yeah. The only place to mint the NFT is at metasignals.io /NFT, and only 2,000 will ever exist. Some USD tiers will be open next year, but of course, since it offers lifetime access to all things Metasignals, the NFT is far and away the best value for money. You can definitely tell that I'm reading off of a script right now too. It's like, for me, reading off a script is so fucking difficult because all my videos are, they have notes, but they're not scripted, right? Anyways, before I ramble on a little bit more, I should probably leave you off there. Again, the website is metasignals.io. It is going live at 1 p.m. Dubai time, which you can use a time translator on Google for whatever that is for your portion of the lands. And with that said, I want to wish you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully soon.